Alright, we're back for the third chakra. Thanks for joining me for the rest of the ride here. Anybody who's hitchhiking and just picking up, we're doing a chakra reading, and we've already done foundational first and second chakras in the first video, and we're going to start with the third chakra. I did want to mention that after I was done shuffling, I looked around on the ground and there was a card laying there, and I felt like it was probably just, supposed to be an overall energy. So it's new beginnings, the dawn. So we find ourselves at the dawn, and I really do feel that way myself, like we talked about. All right, let's see what the third chakra holds. Okay, empowerment. So third chakra has to do with how we empower ourselves. Okay, so it is considered the sort of the final of the lower chakras, which I don't want to imply. To me, I see a spiral that sort of spirals inward, and it doesn't really go upward as a whole. But because of the energetic between, as bridges, that we are energetic bridges between the earth and the cosmos, it inevitably becomes a lower and upper energy. And masculine is often associated with the lower energy vibrations, where feminine to the upper. Heart being the bridge between the two, right? So we are now in our final empowerment. So through foundational understanding, creative, bringing forth a creative energy, we then empower, the legacy that we were discussing. So in the third chakra, we have temperance, the Knight of Swords, and the Hierophant. Okay, so again, we're bringing the Temperance as a major arcana card, and so is the Hierophant. Okay, and the Knight of Swords in between, the Knight of Swords is extremely fast-moving and talks about, the energy of truth and bringing forth the energy of truth. So definitely feeling empowered by the truth, And in the past, and we have found ourselves with an energetic of temperance with that truth, though, right? Because you can only lead out so far, I had a boyfriend one time that had some really valid theories and everything, and those, they were so valid, but then he would take these people and in his discussions with people, trying to get them to understand some of his theories, scientific theories and the such, he would take them so far out, like he's discussing, knowledge of his own past lives and things like that with people who he's just sort of getting, acquainted with. And I always encouraged him to find a temperance with that, because although he sees it as his truth, and although he feels as though, these people need to understand this, it's like kind of one bite at a time. I don't want to shove it all in someone's face. So when it comes to the Knight of Swords, he moves so fast, there's a definite temperance that needs to happen with that information, okay? And we've utilized, like, certain sense of contract. A lot of times this information has been communicated, this truth has been attempted to communicate through, like, religious, means, or, seeking a higher spiritual knowledge. So the truth is that the empowerment comes via seeking that higher spiritual knowledge, tempering our material reality and our creation and the chakras that came before with the truth of, higher spiritual attainment and the healing that can occur because within that. And effortless and angels and masters. So, truly, the truth empowers us effortlessly. Like, once we find ourselves bearing truth, our own authenticity, coming forth with that, acknowledging spiritual, not mastery, but engagement, involvement in reality. There's an effortless connection then that becomes, and this is so great because we're in empowerment. We got a third chakra card for the chakra card, angels and masters. Okay, look at all the chakras engaged. Yeah, with the wings. Okay, the wings of energy that become us as we, womb and heal others. in ourselves, and become connected to those, from the earth to the cosmos, right? So it's effortless once we, find ourselves empowered with the truth, with authenticity, and create creative energy, and giving that forth. There's like an effortless empowerment that occurs, because as we move forth into this empowerment, now this is not, there's a difference between being powerful and being empowered, right? Powerful talks about a little bit of an an overabundant energy in the third chakra. You don't, empower yourself. And the angels and masters, and so the guides, the energetic, and all these energies are going to come forth to empower you as well. And it's sort of effortless, again, once that truth is born from us, of a higher spiritual attainment, and the importance of that at tempering into this material world that we live in, especially in most developed countries right now that are influenced by media. Excuse me. And so the Earth Warrior card's number 6, Medicine of the Butterfly Kachina. Ooh, more butterflies. Okay, we're getting a lot of butterflies going down here with these cards. I love these cards. Look at this. They're so beautiful. Look at this. Could it be more beautiful? Okay, what does she mean? An apparently lost cause or shattered dream was a necessary part of your transformational journey. What was sacrificed can be reborn into something even more beautiful. You are not meant to turn to the past, as it cannot support you in the way it once did. Trust that you have the inner resources to handle what is happening within you and in your life. You are moving towards a significant psychological, emotional, and perhaps also physical breakthrough and transformation. You may have an inner sense of discomfort signaling that something new is unfolding. It is natural to initially feel a little awkward or uncertain in the face of the unfamiliar. Trust in what is happening, even if you don't fully understand it. It will turn out beautifully, while in the end, there also happens to be a new beginning. Okay, so again, it is a birthing, because like this energy is the birthing into the heart, right? I was just describing that. So through true, authentic empowerment, through empowering your puzzle piece, your true purpose, right? It becomes an effortless, empowerment is then effortless, because, authenticity truly does empower us, okay? And things in the past, what has happened in the past, like some of us have come out with authenticity and been struck down or been rejected, and while that's painful, it did teach us all something individually depending on the situation. And if we can look at that and come forth, and with that, whatever it is that we can come forth from it with, okay, we must, because the next level is the heart. And truly empowering your own authenticity is the true way to the heart, okay? So let's see what the heart brings. It's always my favorite. I love the color green. She's representative of the heart chakra. Let's see. Ace of Swords. Ooh, 2 of Cups in the heart. What? Okay, and let's see. Queen of Swords. All right. What else? Oh, looks like we got another fall down of 2 chakras. Chakra cards. All right, Ace of Swords, So, yeah, it's empowering. We've learned to trust and empower the heart, right? So, in the heart, Ace of Swords, it's like, like a certain conquest, right? So it's perfectly coming in the heart after empowerment. The Ace of Swords can very much, talk about that empowerment, okay? So, and the truth, again, so the two combined, the truth, empowered by the truth, to move forth into, authenticity and self-love, thereby rising into the energy of the heart. It's like that, the heart energy suspends itself, almost, within the chest, right? So there's like this utter suspension, almost like you could just reside there. You can, some of us. But of course, there's a natural flow, right, that rises even further. We're going to talk more about that. But so here we are. Ace of Swords, like the conquest through self-empowerment, authenticity, brings Two of Cups, okay? So the Two of Cups can, is the romance card. It's the card where you find your, reflected other to team with, to support, because as humans, we do have a requirement to be in community, right? You don't touch a little baby, it doesn't survive. It can't thrive through, it's what kind of drove me in some ways towards massage as a skill, or learning it. So anyway, so whether that's in another person or within the self and with the universe, we were able then to honestly reflect into the mirror. Okay, so, and by doing, and again, then we have Queen of Swords on the other side, and see the truth, right? And understand the truth of how people connect with love. It's not necessarily second chakra. We didn't get Two of Cups in the second chakra, which would mean sexuality, but we got Two of Cups up north in the heart, right? The northbound train. And so Two of Cups, the reflection and understanding of how we can heal together, as humans via shared experiences and authenticity. And the empowered truth, okay? The empowered queen, truthful queen. So we can just be real with each other. We can be authentic. We can reflect. We can have love between us. And once we all rise into that, that Ace of Swords comes down and like nails, our exact, sort of mission amongst us, where we begin to be able to share from the heart and truth and our own authenticity without fear, and leaving all that behind and coming together, okay, as a whole in unity awareness, unity consciousness, balance between masculine and feminine energies, not necessarily just like male and female, but masculine and feminine energies, that which nurtures, that which receives, that which gives, and that which manifests, right? So then unfoldment occurs, okay? So through this, things begin to unfold in a very cosmic way, because the nurturing that we are participating then in by nature, in the heart, grounds, from the earth, we are now reaching into, a sense of nurturing and, sort of the foundational feminine, right? That's in the body, right? The heart is the earth of the feminine energy, the foundation, the grounding of the feminine energy, okay? So that's, and then we also got another heart chakra card, inner child. So we're talking about, really nurturing that innocence and that understanding of what we are as just humans with the planet and as children of the earth, okay? And what our roles are, and understanding that from the heart, together in tribe, in unity, not pitted against each other in some forced solitude, to make money and be a concentrated energy unit, right? But to come together and empower as a whole through individual authentic empowerment that brought us to the heart, then we can come together, and empower that. Yay! Okay. So heart chakra, Earth Warrior card number 2. Again, Two of Cups. We get another number 2. Okay, so this is super important in how we are reflecting and sharing authenticity and love with each other. Okay, again, outside of sexuality, there's a harmonic, an unconditional harmonic that of love, that can be occurred in unity, and it's so healing. So number 2, turquoise changing woman. Ooh, look at her. She's beautiful with her birds. Like, I would totally wear that dress. And so number 2 is change is upon you. It is essential for your continued growth, and you do not need to fear it. As you allow for this change, remain steadfast in your inner spiritual connection. This gives you courage, trust, peace, and reassurance, and you will find ways to navigate the shift so that your life improves through the process. If you are thinking of making a change, you are encouraged to do so without trying to force it. Be open and do your part to the best of your ability, but also tune into your sense of divine timing, asking the universe for help and allowing for life to unfold according to its own rhythm of creative, loving intelligence. And so I was talking about the 49%. The universe is creative and loving intelligence, participation in the heart, okay? Allowing for that, because it's just heart-blowing, literally, when the universe begins to participate in your wish manifestation, okay? And what your vibrational, what your soul says to it, you can put it into words and ground it into some 3D idea, but the universe gets that vibrational truth and knows beyond what you can even fathom what you love, what will make you grow, what will make you shine and vibrate at the highest levels, right? So trusting in that and meeting it in the heart, okay? Okay, I'm going on now. All right, let's move on because we've got 2 more chakras to do. And your throat. All right. Blue throat communications. Okay. Wow. Okay. In communication, we have been experiencing Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is a pretty rough card. It's like a living nightmare. Okay, so what's been going down, or where we're at, is as we're resonating in the heart with each other, we look outside and we realize like the living nightmare that we are coming up against, okay? So she's ready. She sees all the swords, okay? She's got her sword pulled. She's ready because she realizes that she is in a position that is very much threatened, okay? So communicatively, we're realizing and understanding and talking about how dire it is right now, how the time is now, how we all must be, our authentic peace. We've got to, without fear, step forward for all of humanity, for the survival, because of that energetic, that 7 of Swords coming over and taking over the world, where the world's stuck in the chains of the lower chakras, right, the devil energy. And so while the lower chakras are great and foundational, they're meant to be the tower of the Tower of Babel, that allows us to stand upon it and reach into the cosmos, okay, connecting us to the earth safely. So, yeah, so much of the world is very obsessed with being powerful, and therefore that extra energy and coming through into that 3rd chakra sort of blocks it, and then they're chained into the lower chakras and never able to kind of climb up on top and reach out to that 49% of the universal cosmos and come into the heart bridge. So much of the world is in that space, and as we move into the heart and we're in the heart space, we can then communicate with each other about this fact. And what can we do, 6 of Wands then, to have victory? How do we procure victory through this 9 of Swords, and we will find, and we are finding, an Ace of Wands then, a new beginnings through victory and communicating the truth of what's going down, the living nightmare on Earth right now, and our participation in it, or by either doing or not doing, but we all are participating if we're alive and breathing and consider ourselves human, to whatever degree we possibly can. We're going to collective, from the heart space, as a collective, communicate about this and find a victorious new beginning and plan to move forward, because and we're going to release all of this negativity and 9 of Swords of the past, right, and go into our dreams and producing and procuring with the universe all of our dreams, our stars, our wishes upon stars, as individuals, as collective, as, you know, just like a human energetic that's naturally wanting to heal, you know. So, you know, in the dreams, investing in the dreams, you know, communicating our dreams, releasing the past, you know, releasing that Nine of Swords energy, that we understand what's going on. We are living. Why talk about the nightmare that exists? Why give it any more energy? I don't watch the news. I don't need to know. What I need to know is how to have victory, and how to have a new beginning, like how to build the new earth, how to build, you know, towards a loving harmonic on the planet that's more empowered and powerful than any freaking politician, political structure, or team of political structures, okay? Human unity is the most powerful thing that can happen on the planet. So we have to release this treachery from our realities, and dream of the new world, okay? So 37, Tiger, and talk about this, okay? Communicate openly our authenticity. What is our dreams? How do we make it? How do you see yourself fitting, and how do you build the new dream, you know, of the world, of humanity, that goes beyond this ridiculousness that we're living within now, that we've all been taken on the ride, you know, and some people are, you know, full-on zombies, okay? So let's go to number 37, Diamond Tiger of the Black Moon. You're cool. Do not judge anything or anyone, including yourself, and what you believe is possible based on the past. Boom. Love that. Reclaim and redirect your energy according to what matters to you most. You are stronger than you may realize. The return of strength after a challenge, second chances for success, and a brilliant intuition or insight that ends a long-lasting cycle of repeated struggle. Oh my goodness, like, so right on. Is indicated. A prophecy is given for empowered leadership, spiritual attainment, and success after previous failure, which leads to an irreversible and positive outcome. Boom! Boom. Okay, like, that's exactly what we were just talking about. The treachery of the past and our new beginnings, and conquest, and finding and understanding, you know, the path. Even though there's a defeated nature that's, you know, going on right now, that we feel defeated, that when we turn on the news, that when we realize and tune into the freaking reality, it's just alarming. It's nightmare. And so this is like saying the return of strength after a challenge, second chances, insights that end a long-lasting, repeated struggle. So yeah, that's what we do. We come through our conversation, through talking about this from the heart, through acknowledging truth. We find a certain victorious, unified energy wherein we can create a new beginning together towards in the new earth, and release the past, invest in our dreams. Wow, amazing, Diamond Tiger. Nailed it. So let's move on. Last one. Woo, I'm having fun. This is fun. I like this reading. What do you guys think? Let me know. Okay, one more. And my favorite, this third eye chakra. Okay. And we have King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and Death. Wow. Okay. So in this intuition and connection to the universe, you know, the King of Pentacles, man, he is grounded. It's like, you know, it's very important. It's through the third eye that we're able to crown ourselves the king of our physical realities. And so the King of Pentacles comes to crown us as we come into from our, you know, verbalized unity through talking from the heart, an empowered tribe with a plan, with a great creative seed, into the third eye to connect to the cosmos. Say, hey man, come talk with us, listen to what we've got going. And crowning ourselves with truth, the Queen of Swords, to come and say, you know, we've seen the truth, we understand what's going on. We're now ready to connect cosmically. We are the bridge. We've, you know, all chakras engaged, you know, all systems go, Care Bear Stare, of truth, you know, for humanity. We're ready to rep it, right? And this brings death, the transition. the metamorphosis of what's real around us, okay? And so the ending and the new beginning. So once we rise in to join the universe, there's an entire metamorphosis that happens tribally, energetically, physically, on the planet and how we're repping it and building and bringing the new world, the new earth vibration into manifesto through the death card, right? And then we get emergence, which is part of the death card. I mean, coming from the cocoon, the metamorphosis. This lady's beautiful. Look at her. She knows what she's doing. Got herself. It's unlocked. All unlocked. She's emerging, from the death card with soul healing. Okay, so empowered. That's a third chakra. But through connecting to the universe, we find this soul healing, this resonance, this, my purpose, I get it. We can never see it all, but we can, understand, even if we can't explain that we understand, right? So the emergence of the soul healing on the planet too, that is what the new earth is a healed Gaia, a healed human community, healed animal community, and one that works in resonant harmony with each other. No one taking too much, no one leaving too much. Everything working in harmonic, lacking critical judgment and power tripping, right? Just understanding that through authenticity, we're all empowered. And through each individual empowerment, it's like that commercial, those old commercials for cell phones where it's like, this, cellular company only has, and it shows a map and there's like 5 lights, or whatever of service. And then, but with us, and then it just like lights up the map with all these little points, bing, 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 bing. And that's sort of how we become until we're just sort of, in unity and seen as one light force, an energy force that's truly magnetic and unstoppable, drawing to itself all things and all things to be healed. And then sort of like, was it the Lorax, where they're coming through, there's this like crazy scene. I remember a kid getting really upset about it, and like where they're just chopping all the trees down like crazy, and it's like this like monster like vehicle chopping down all the trees, right? And but doing that in a sense though with what is negative, not that which gives life, that's that which takes life. So light sort of comes through and like digests the negative and releases it as external, like more light energy, right? Transmute it. So that's what we're talking about here, transmuting with the universe, this energetic on the planet, okay? White Buffalo Woman, number 44, and we will sign off. Thank you so much for making it this far. I've had a great time today. And really feel positive about this discussion, and our ability as a tribe to really empower and move forward and make a difference, okay? Number 44, this oracle signifies hope and reunion after a challenge or dark time. There will be harmony and a coming together in sacred purpose after putting pain or conflict behind you. Exactly, okay? These cards are amazing. Like, I know nothing about them. I rarely read with them because they just have this, it's more of a personal thing. And it, like I said, I have to read from the book and stuff. I know the other cards by heart, and it makes it a little simpler. But I thought I'd bring it out. I'm so glad I did. Anyway, let's continue because I was just talking about this energy, White Buffalo Woman. She's awesome. Look at her art. Okay. So, a birth of something pure and true shall happen under the under the auspices of Great Spirit. Forgive yourself and others and lay claim to the purity and goodwill that is your heart's true nature. Spiritual blessing is bestowed. Your actions are in accordance with heaven. Complete release and renewal shall take place. Have good and true will and triumph in the end. Have faith, for your prayers are being answered. Wow, wow, oh my gosh. That's exactly like what I feel the synopsis of the whole thing is. Honestly, and these all just drop out, Manipulating cards is like lying with the universe, which is like the ultimate worst lie you could, perpetrate. So these all just fell for you guys, and it feels awesome. I like it. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm really in love with this. So. All right, I will be back. There is an eclipse happening, and it's about 6 hours that it affects us here on the West Coast or in the U.S. So I will be doing readings during that entire time and then posting them. I'm still waiting and meditating on structure and how I'll exactly do it. Split it all up, but please stay tuned. Should be cool. Eclipse energy readings during it while it's happening. So, all right, guys. Till then, have a good couple of days. Bye.